Thank you for joining Think, Build, Launch. This program is an extension of Marl Startup Studio. Marl Startup Studio was started to support students and first-time founders while they are at the idea stage of their startup. We believe that there are so many innovative ideas in our community that get missed simply because people do not have the structure to take their ideas into an actionable plan. That is what we do. Today, I would like to welcome our guest, Ebony Miller-Wesley. Let me tell you just a little bit about Ebony. Ebony is the director of the Rochester Institute of Technology Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, also known as CUE, which provides business and consulting services to urban entrepreneurs or anyone who has an existing business or is hoping to launch a new business within the urban area. In her role, Ebony leads the center's efforts to raise funds to provide critical assistance to underserved businesses in high-growth sectors and foster outreach and collaboration within the city of Rochester and the Finger Lakes 9-county region. She also maintains partnerships with entrepreneurship and training efforts currently within RIT's Simone Center for Student Innovation and Entrepreneurship. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Communication and a Master of Arts in Informatics from the State University of New York at Buffalo. And in November, very recently, she completed an MBA at Rochester Institute of Technology. Congratulations on the MBA, Ebony.
Thank you.
Very exciting. Exciting to have you here. I would love to know a little bit about the journey that got you to the Rochester Institute Center for Urban Entrepreneurship.
Great. First of all, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity today, Jennifer. I'm super excited to be here with you. I got my start with the Urban League of Rochester. My undergraduate degree is in communication. My first graduate degree is in informatics. The first thing I realized when I entered that field was that I did not like sitting behind a computer. I'm a people person. Yeah. So, I looked for other opportunities. That initial job that I had in that field was with Element K, which is now Skillsoft.
Yes.
So I looked for other opportunities, and I came upon the opportunity with the Urban League of Rochester to work with their business development division. At that time, I was working on a grant that was funded through the United States Small Business Administration, and it was Jefferson Avenue Revitalization Program. And so through that program, we aimed to help business owners in that area. At that time, it was a focus investment area within the city of Rochester, and we assisted business owners in that area with facade improvement grants and technology grants. So really getting them, up to speed with the way other businesses, outside of that community were operating. That grant reached the end of its funding stream in December of 2010, at which time I was no longer employed. Once the funding stream ends, then, you have to look for other efforts to keep people on staff. And so, unfortunately, that was the end of my time at the Urban League. But the great thing about it was it gave me an opportunity to explore what was next for me. And I knew I wanted to enter the field of higher education. So, I applied for a couple opportunities at Rochester Institute of Technology, where I am currently. And the first opportunity I got, I took it. I had just purchased a home in 2010. So, being without a job for too long would have a domino effect. So I did not want that. So I started in an entry-level position at Rochester Institute of Technology in the Kate Gleason College of Engineering. I was a senior staff specialist at that time. However, my passion was with business. My time at the Urban League taught me a lot about business. It taught me a lot about entrepreneurship. And I made a lot of connections. So leaving that position at that time for me was kind of bittersweet. Yes, I had the opportunity to explore, but I also left behind business owners that had become attached to me and the services that I was providing. So I was looking to stay in that field, but at that time it couldn't happen. So when I started at RIT, my first job, it taught me a lot about the Institute. I learned about the students. I learned about how RIT operates. I learned about the different departments. I made a lot of connections. And so I was able to explore, opportunities that existed within RIT. Fast forward a little bit, the building that Rochester Institute of Technology now operates the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship out of was donated to us through Rochester Historic Ventures.
Oh, wow.
So when I heard about that, I was like, wow, I wonder if this, could be an opportunity for me. So I got in contact with those who I knew would be involved with those efforts. I joined different committees at RIT. So, those that were involved, those that were the decision makers on who would come on board for the center, I was able to meet. And they were able to see what I was able to do and learn more about me. So when the opportunity presented itself for me to apply for one of the roles, I did. And so my first role with the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship was as program manager. The person that hired me went on to explore other opportunities outside of RIT. So at that time, we were without a director. The dean then decided, we need to keep these efforts moving forward. So she tapped someone to come in and help out with those efforts, who became my mentor. I'm sure you're familiar with him, Carlos Carbolata.
Oh, yes. Fabulous.
Yes, Carlos Carbolata was very instrumental in my growth and to get me to where I am today. So that's a little bit of background on how I became the director for the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship.
What I really love about your story is that, many of our audience are students starting an idea, getting involved. And what I love about your story is that there are several pivots that you mention, and value creation and your ability to engage partnership and create value. And so it's just if anyone is in the process of doing a pivot, I think Ebony would be a wonderful model of how you do that. Mentorship's a big part of our platform. Is there anything that you learned from your wonderful mentors? Is there an element of knowledge that really stuck out as significant in your journey?
The most important piece of information that I could share with regards to mentorship and pivoting would be networking. Your net worth is essentially your network is essentially your net worth.
Yeah.
The power that you have to tap into not just your network, but the networks of those that exist within your network,
yes,
could prove to be priceless. And that's exactly what happened in my situation.
Yeah.
Without tapping into that network, without making those who believed in me proud and doing what it was that I said that I was going to do, I can't say that I would be here today. So really, ultimately living life like you're on stage. You never know when opportunity is going to present itself, whether you're, in a meeting with someone that you might have to meet with in the future, but that meeting is not about the two of you at that time, whether you're in a grocery store shopping or in an elevator going up to the fourth floor with someone. Really understanding that it's important that whatever brand that you're trying to present, that's what you're carrying along with you each day. So your social media presence, the way you conduct yourself in public and at work, and even amongst your family, it should be the same person, the person that you want people to believe in.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. So we have so many startup initiatives in the community. There's Luminate, Next Core, Genius New York, all of these things. Are we doing things right to support urban entrepreneurs, or what can we do to do a better job to really help support you and your efforts and our community at large?
So, you mentioned Luminate, and one of the things about Luminate is there's a substantial amount of money at the end of the process that's possibly available to those that participate in it, right? So that being said, when you think about those that participate in Luminate, they're typically high-tech, high-growth ventures, right? So our focus at the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship is the opposite. So one of the things that we're focused on doing is providing some of those same efforts that exist, like those that participate in Luminate, for those that are not high-tech, high-growth ventures or business owners, but those that, are your mom and pop's businesses or your non-tech ventures, making sure that there's equity there, making sure that, the same amount of dollars that are available to someone in the high-tech, high-growth sector, that, they have the opportunity to have access to something similar.
Yeah, that's great. We're very lucky. You and I are both very plugged in, and we've been in the community for me at least over 20 years, which is hard to say because I feel like it's just been a few years. But we have access to networks, and we know how to network. What can we do to accelerate helping other people learn some of the skills that we might take for granted?
So it's important that, people understand that, yes, you could know how to build this, great technology. But if you don't have those soft skills, then, it means nothing. You need to know how to sell it. You need to know how to execute it. So really providing entrepreneurs with those soft skills that aren't necessarily learned in college or learned by reading a book, I think is key.
Wow, that's great. I think people on our platform really love stories. Is there a person that you worked with that you're able to talk about that just was like really satisfying story of how you were able to help them and what they're doing now?
So I don't know if you're familiar with Kombucha, but it's a kombucha business. And the owner is Katarina Schwartz. And so, initially when she thought about starting her business, she came to us. She came to us with just an idea. And she had been told no several times by several people and told that, it wasn't possible. We worked with her from the start. She actually was one of our contestants in our business pitch competition that was the first of its kind within the city of Rochester. We held that in August of 2019. The next one is coming up on August 25th of this year.
Wow.
But she participated in that pitch competition. She won $10,000 as a result. And now she has her own kombucha brewery.
Wow.
Prior to that, she was renting space at one of our other local businesses, but now she has her own. So, coming to us from just having an idea of what she wanted to do to, fast forward to today, and now she has her own brewery. I would say, that's an example of the work that we're able to do, when entrepreneurs come to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Tag me, please, in August, because I think I would love to have you and your winners for this come back on the show, because I think it's really fun to watch people grow. And that's really, I can just see, if y'all could see Ebony's face, she's just so excited and proud about that idea of taking an idea to some place that actually has the kind of scale and that we could actually go. Is it in grocery stores that we could actually go buy some today?
So you can actually go to her business. She's on, I want to say it's Railroad Street, where Boxcar Grocery, Boxcar Donuts is. She's directly across the street.
Oh, wow.
So yes, you can purchase it there. And there are several stores that you're able to purchase it as well. And last I checked, she was on tap also at Fifth Frame.
Oh, nice. That's really cool. So, having a platform is really wonderful. Is there anything that you're so excited to share now that you have the mic and you have the stage?
Another thing I'm excited to share is that, in the past, entrepreneurs were, especially the entrepreneurs that are not high tech, high growth, they were sent on a wild goose chase for services. So they go to one organization. They might be told, okay, well, we don't work on that here, so you need to go over there. But there was no mechanism in place for that organization to just type in some information. And then when they go to the next organization, we can just open up a file and see their information there. Now that exists. We have Nexus I90, which is a platform that our entrepreneur service providers in the Rochester area are utilizing for tracking and referral. So now when business owners, let's say you're running an organization and they meet with you and you're helping them with projections. Mm-hmm. Then they meet with me because they want to take those projections and now insert them into their business plan. I can just go into Nexus I90, look up, that particular entrepreneur, be able to view the last conversation that you've had with them based on the notes that you put in the system and pick up where you left off. So, that's something that I'm proud to say that, as a network here, we have that in place. It was something that wasn't in place before, but now it makes it seamless for entrepreneurs to not only navigate our entrepreneurial ecosystem, but also to go into the system and self-select the services that they need and be matched with the service provider.
That's amazing. I remember hearing about it when it was an idea. I didn't know it was actually open and working. And so that's just really phenomenal. Well, I want everyone to know that Ebony is actually one of our judges in our Marl Accelerator. We have the third Thursday of every month, we have a pitch competition online, and we want to do it every month. We want it to be a pull versus push. And so I'm very excited that you're going to be seeing much more of Ebony in the Marl Startup Studio ecosystem, which is great. I would like to thank our sponsor, Marl Accelerator, with managing partners Amir Khan and Prakash Goswami. I would also like to thank Startup Grind Rochester, Upstate Venture Connect, Upstate Capital of New York, NextCore, RIT, and University of Rochester for your partnership with the Marl Startup Studio and collaboration to this entrepreneurship tipping point that we have here in Rochester. Finally, I'd like to thank our producer, Scott Fitzgerald at RockVox Studio. If you have an idea and want to know more about our program, connect with me at jennifer@marlaccelerator.com. Please subscribe to our program, and we'll continue to provide information and inspiration about taking your idea to scale. This is Jennifer Sertle. Thank you.